UniSC Headstart Online Information Evening this evening. So joined by a range of our colleagues as well as two student ambassadors, we have Lizzie and Tristan here with us today. I'll do an official welcome to them a little bit later, introduce them, and we're actually going to do a bit of a Q&A panel so you guys can hear firsthand from two current students who actually utilise the Head Start program and actually found themselves getting ahead via doing this. But we'll have those questions at the end so you can hear through them. Just throughout the course of the presentation too, guys, we just wanted to let everyone know we do have a Q&A chat function. So there will be no chatting directly, but you can throw all your questions in the Q&A chat function, and we're going to have a team live action responding to them. Any that might be best answered live, we're just going to save them till the end too. So please note, we'll get to all of your questions at some point throughout the course of this presentation. All right, so just before we kick off, guys, I just wanted to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we live, work and study. Just acknowledging that this was a learning space for tens of thousands of years before we got here, and part of the UniSC mission is just to ensure that this continues to be a learning space as we go forward on our amazing educational journey. So, for those of you that didn't know, UniSC is a multidisciplinary university, which essentially is just a fancy term for saying we have a lot of campuses. So I love our campuses because, as you can see on this amazing graphic here, we're spread out all across the southeast Queensland coastlines, one of the very few or only universities to actually have campuses so close to the beach. So if you're a fisherman like myself or a surfer, you're absolutely going to love these campuses. So just going through them from the top, we have Fraser Coast. Up there, we have our beautiful Gari Island research facilities too. This is amazing for any students getting involved with biomedical science, animal ecology, any of those sorts of degrees in that area. You're actually going to get the opportunity to field trip to this island, which is a fantastic experience. As we go further down, I'm just going to skip over Slippy Downs campus for now. We have Gympie and Caboolture. These are two smaller hubs, and these are two massive health hubs. So although we have a lot of health services at our other campuses, Gympie and Caboolture are mainly utilised and known for their health opportunities. As we go down back into the middle, Slippy Downs was our foundation campus where we opened the doors. And last but certainly not least, we have our newest, and in my opinion, I'm a little bit biased, but our best campus, the Moreton Bay campus. If no one could tell, I do actually work from here and I love it too. So no matter where you are, there's a campus in your backyard somewhere in southeast Queensland. And also just wanted to mention too, we have a range of online study opportunities too, which we will go into when we hit the Head Start side of this presentation. So why UniSC? We've got a lot of information to cover this evening, so I'm not going to go through this in too much details, but a couple points that I love to mention about this. Look, we have such a modern and truly flexible approach to our learning. Now, I am telling you this from a previous alumni perspective. I graduated with a Bachelor of Business, majoring in Tourism, Leisure and Event Management. And I actually did this through the University of the Sunshine Coast as well, so I can talk from experience. So we've now merged all our lectures completely online. The reason we do that is this actually gives you more opportunity to get go through these learnings in a self-paced learning environment with a flexible approach. So it gives you that really good opportunity to balance social life, working life, as well as your study life and education as well. You can stop, start, record, go through these in a self-paced learning environment. And we did this just so you have that flexibility on your study, so you don't need to worry about work. And the other tail end of this is, with these lectures being completely online, our tutorials and workshops we can now allocate 2 hours to, so you have more time to engage in a sort of personalized one-on-one setting with your academic, which is huge for us, making sure you have that engagement in small class sizes as well, leading to more engagement and just ensuring that you don't feel like another cog in the system, I think, is one of the biggest things here. And one of our superpowers being a smaller regional university is we don't overbook our classrooms, so you do have a personalised experience with your academic, which leads into our next point I wanted to touch on. And the last one on this slide is our focus on employability. We have a range of incredible partnerships throughout the university, and we utilise these partnerships through our WIL, which is Work Integrated Learning. Just another fancy term for saying internship, essentially. So throughout this internship, we integrate this into almost every UniSC degree. You have the opportunity to choose this as an elective. So first of all, no classes for that semester for this class, which is my favorite thing about it. But second of all, you actually get to work alongside industry professionals in a professional industry environment, which is amazing. I did mine through an amazing event management company down here in Moreton, and it actually gave me the skills to get straight out into the workforce and can secure full-time employment almost as soon as I graduated. So just some really good points to mention in that one too. So finally, guys, we're going to dive into support services a little bit later. So I won't go into this slide specifically in too much detail, but we are rated top 5 in Australia for overall student experience, which we hold really, really highly. And support services are a massive focus for us here at the university. So you've got all the way through from academic and study support, all the way through to financial support. So as I said, we're going to go through this a little bit further in detail to what this looks like for a Head Start student being in high school, but please note you will have access to all of these services and we absolutely encourage you to utilize them if you need them, because no one knows to give you a hand unless you reach out. So please make sure you're utilizing these services. They're what they're there for. All right, now let's get into the exciting part of the presentation. So, Head Start. So, look, the name's in the title, guys. This gives you the opportunity to get a massive, massive head start on your educational journey when you're in high school. So, this is a transitional program for Year 10 students, Year 11 and Year 12. It starts in Semester 2 in Year 12, but you can also do it in Semesters 1 to 2, Year 11 and 12. So, the first course is completely free. After that, we're looking at about $400 per course. Now, please note, you can actually apply for scholarships or fee waivers, we call them, for this course too. And although we can never let everyone know that they're going to get that and we can't confirm that they're going to actually get this fee waiver, we strongly encourage you to, because we're really looking to give this out as well. This gives you a great opportunity to get these courses for free. So you can complete up to 4 Uni SC courses. Now, the best thing about this too is upon completion of 2 of these Head Start courses, you actually get an automatic selection ranking of 75. So we can talk about that if anyone has further details. Just noting too, if you're already on track to beat that 75, the university is going to take your highest selection ranking. So please keep that in consideration. But if you're not willing to beat a 75 and you complete 2 of these Head Start courses, that's a selection ranking of 75, which once you go through the study guide, if you haven't already, you will see this will get you into the vast majority of Uni SC courses. Now, final one I want to talk about on this slide is you can receive QCE points for each Head Start course you complete. Noting that you need 20 QCE points to graduate, you receive 2 QCE points per Head Start course that you complete. There are caps on this, so we do encourage you to have a look through the website just to confirm how many QCE points you can receive overall. Other point to just mention with this one as well is you can receive 1 ATAR adjustment factor per course too. So just for those of you that might not know what an ATAR rank adjustment factor can be, if you're on track to get a 74, you've completed 4 of these courses, that automatically bumps you up to a 78. So just keeping that in mind, and also noting there is a limit to how many adjustment factors you can receive. That is 6, but there's a multiple range of different schemes you can access as well. But that's something to note later, that's not included with Head Start. So as we move on, what are the benefits of Head Start? So really getting into the crux of why you would do it. So first one is you get an access to higher education. If you're an academic person and you absolutely love thriving in academia too, you can get access to this education while you're in high school, and you can actually leverage some of this library access and all these databases in your school assignments too. Second one, arguably the most important one, you can find your passion early. Like, this is honestly the trademark expression for try before you buy, right? You have the opportunity to try this without any financial outlay, especially guaranteed for that first course. If you're tossing up whether you want to get into biomedical science or business, this is the opportunity to do so. Before you commit to a bachelor or even diploma, you can actually see if this is the course you want to get into and if you can see yourself in this career. So look, you've got access to university life. You can get involved with clubs, all these other things that a university has access to. But look, most importantly, assist with easing that transition from school to high school. So what you will find is, because you've been as a Head Start student, once you actually get out of high school and start getting into university, you're going to find some people are going to lean on you a little bit more. You're going to make it so much easier to find friends because you know what you're doing. So all those students that haven't been to the campus before, they're a little bit nervous, they're dusting off their shoulders from high school. You can be that nice peace of mind to show them where to go, to be that face that's comfortable, knows what they're doing. It really eases that transition. And finally, look, build early industry connections. I'm going to hit you with a saying, and I do apologize for how lame it is, but your network is your net worth. Half the time it's not what you know, it's who you know. And this gives you the opportunity to start building those connections. Now, something I'm big on, and I would be surprised if I don't mention this again, is PODs, point of differences. This is an amazing point of difference. When you graduate, you think of how many other people are graduating at the same time of you. What's going to set you apart from everyone else? When you're going for that first interview in industry, what's going to set you apart? Well, I can tell you now, if you've done Headstart, industry connections to get you into that position and to give you a really, really good reference and knowledge. You've been studying for longer. An employer will see that you started a university level of education while you're in high school. That's a massive, massive upper hand. So choose from a wide range of courses. You can build on your favorite subjects, like subjects that you don't actually get to explore in high school, right? They're so limited to what you can do in high school. This gives you the opportunity to expand on that and see what you want to do once you get into university life. So best suit your career aspirations, help assist you in the direction you want to go. I think one of the biggest things that I did brush over before, and I am going to pull back to now, is this is an opportunity to start chipping away at a potential course you want to do. So if you, for example, did 4 courses, 4 Head Start courses, all to business, you've double checked, and these courses do give you credit transfers into the Bachelor of Business. By the time you finish high school, you've done 4 subjects. You've completed a full semester of university learning. So that 3-year bachelor now goes down to 2.5 years. So a good opportunity to get ahead and actually start chipping away at that degree. And finally, some of our courses actually offer sort of provided embedded industry certificates, like the ITS Python certification through the ICT Head Start course. So a few different certifications you can actually gain through these courses too. Now, we can't actually give everyone the Head Start guide, being we are online for this one, but if you jump on our website, you can pull the Head Start guide off and download a PDF, and you can start to see all the amazing courses like you can see on the screen in front of you that we do offer here at the university. The best thing is we've actually updated this. We update it year to year, so there's some amazing little hidden gems that are put in there too. You can take my word for that. I've read this thing back to front. There are some amazing courses we have on offer this year, as we do every year. All right, so the stuff we really need to know, eligibility. So just to kick off the bat and let everyone know, this is competitive. A lot of people want to get access to this program. A lot of people want to get involved. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to gain school approval. So your teachers are going to want to assess you, have a look at what your current workload is, and have a look at your grade average. So something important to note, just as a bit of a buffer, we do put there that you must have a B grade average or higher, obviously, to get involved in this program. Now, each school differs, and why we get school approval is your career advisors, your guidance officers, they know you. They know if you can handle this additional workload. It may not be an additional workload depending on your school with the structure, but we will get into that a little bit later. But just noting, a B to a B minus grade average is the minimum we look at to get involved with this program. And you must be currently completing a full workload of year 10, semester 2 only, or year 11 and year 12 curriculum. And the final one we need to mention with this one is you must pass your first course to progress, right? So that is why it's so important that we get the school's approval, because all your school wants to do, your career advisor, your guidance officer, they just want to make sure, same as a university, we're setting you up for success. Last thing we want to do is, if your school feels like you might not be in the position at the moment to get involved in this program, is leave a sour taste in your mouth about university if it is too much or if it might not be the right time for you to get involved. So please note, this is why we do look at this eligibility requirement. And once again, if you do not have that B grade, B minus grade average to get involved, put a progression plan together. Have a chat to your career advisor. See what you need to do to get to that level to get involved. That's absolutely possible too. So just going to go through a bit of a breakdown of how we actually look at choosing a Head Start course. So first one you're going to do is, you can see the screen in front of you, you're actually going to have a look at what area you want to get involved in. So what school of discipline you would like to do. Once you choose one, business and commerce for sake of example, you're then going to have a look at all the courses that are available to you. So once you see those courses and where they're offered, you can then click into it to get a further breakdown of that course. Now you're going to see if there's any prerequisites required, how many units, most importantly, what semester it's on offer, and where it's available. So please noting, as you can see on your screen, this example here is offered at Sunshine Coast, Moreton Bay, and online, but at Moreton Bay, you can only get involved in semester 1. So super important that you're paying close attention to these details before you make your submission too. So once you get into this, you can actually click on course detail on the left, and that's going to take you over here to review the course outline. So once you do review the course outline, which we strongly recommend, that is going to give you all of these beautiful details you see in front of you. So the description of the course, the learning materials, what the tutorials look like, what the seminars look like, all of these informations that's super crucial to know. So for everyone out there, we've got plenty of time till submissions close, so there's no excuse for not going through this in detail. That is everyone's homework for tonight, unfortunately, or over the holidays too. Go through this process, make sure you read every detail. This is an important decision, so don't rush it. Really give yourself the opportunity to carefully choose which course you want to follow and which most aspires to your passions and desires for your occupation outside of high school too. So, just to go through how to apply step-by-step process too, as this is super important. Step 1, look, you're going to assess your options like we just did that breakdown through. Step 2, book that meeting with your guidance officer or career advisor. This is stuff you could start doing now as well. Talk to your school, see if you meet the eligibility requirements. If not, put a progression plan together to get yourself in that direction too. So number 3, you're going to complete and submit your applications. As I did mention, applications are now open, so please check the website for details and updates as well. Step 4, complete that scholarship application that we talked about. So you won't need to do it for the first one, but keeping in mind that this scholarship application is available and you don't want to pay that $400 for your next course if you can get away with it. So making sure we're putting an application in for that. Finally, receive your offer. So what does that look like? Now, the selection process, regardless of your application, whether it's successful or unsuccessful, you will be informed and you will be let know. So other point to this that I did want to mention, if anyone's like me in high school, you've got a high school email address, you do not check it, right? That was me, so I totally get it. If that's the case and you're like me as a student, please use mum or dad's email address, right? Or any guardian that's going to be assessing their emails, please use their email address, because if you miss this application, the offer will be taken away eventually. So it is so, so important that you're getting this information, you're following the prompts, you're jumping onto it straight away to get all that crucial information and tick off the final bits that we need from you to get you across the line as well, essentially. So, Head Start orientation. Just to give you a quick story, orientation is so important, or O Week as we call it. For those of you that don't know what it is, this is going to give you all of the information you need. You come to campus, you can see where all the classes are, you can meet some academics, you can meet some people that you're going to be studying with as well. Very good opportunity. Now, I didn't go to my orientation. I ended up sitting in, I think it was a law or criminology lecture for 3 weeks, right? What a waste of time. I was too shy to tell anyone. Learn from my mistakes. Do not do that and play catch up after the 3rd week, okay? So once you're enrolled, you're going to be sent an email with all of this information about orientation. Broken record alert, but please, please, please attend your orientation. It will give you all the information you need to know, especially where support services are, getting your key card, all of those accessibility things too. So super important that you go to orientation if you can make it. So, support with your studies. Guys, we did talk about support services earlier, just bringing it back to this to talk about it just more specifically from a Head Start perspective, what it would look like for you as a student. So, learning advisors to help you with academic skills and study skills. Looping into that one is the study area drop-in sessions. I utilize these all the time. So if you're struggling with a piece of assessment, whether it be an assignment or even just studying for an exam, there are drop-in sessions that you can access. There's going to be people from the academic success team or student ambassadors to help guide you with these assessments. Although unfortunately they can't give you the answers, they can help you find them. And you can work with other people in the same situation. Like, as I said, I utilize this a lot. This actually really helped me get amazing grades. Even if I knew what I was doing, I would go to these sessions to help me out because I'm not a very theoretical learner. I needed all the help I could get. it's a really good opportunity to utilize these services. So Canvas is an online learning portal. This is where you're going to get all your online materials. So really important that you do, like in orientation, they're going to talk you through all of this stuff too. So really just cementing that fact that orientation is important as well. So, or finally, you can chat with a member of the student success team. You want to have a chat about a career progression. Where am I going to go? What do I need to do? That's what they're there for. They're here to help you. So once again, please utilizing that. And finally, book a free counseling session. Guys, these counseling sessions are free and available to you to use. So if you need them, please reach out. That's what they're there for. As I mentioned earlier, we are huge on support here at UniSC, and we want to make sure we're supporting you. And just to make sure no one burns out either, if you're feeling like you're getting to that point, come have a chat to a professional. That's what they're there for. All right, so just to summarize everything we've talked about, if you're looking if Headstart is for you, do you have a passion or a skill in a particular field? Huge tick. Are you looking to advance your current school studies to further just engrave yourself and embed yourself in a field of study? Absolutely, huge tick. Do you have academic skills and research study topics or assessment pieces you write to sit for an exam? Yes, absolutely tick. Can you manage your own studies and life schedule? That is a huge one. Time management is key to university. And pretty much, if you're managed and organized, you are going to pass university. It is one of the key things. It is just time, not just, sorry, I shouldn't say that. A big part of it is time management. Do you want to learn alongside people of all ages and background and grow that network? Yes, absolutely. This is for you. Are you doing well at school and do you want to experience something new? Then yes, even if you're some of these, Head Start is for you. So a couple more things to consider. If you've got a family holiday planned or you're going away, university is a little bit different to high school in that fact. You are a Head Start student, so your tutors will know you're a Head Start student too. So just making sure you're speaking with your course coordinator if any of these dates might interfere with any of your assessment periods too. So massive, like very, very important you do that. Communication is key. As we talked about with support, no one knows to help if you don't reach out first. No one knows you're going to be away for assessment for a holiday if you don't let everyone know. So please make sure you're communicating that. And another one to add on with that, communicate with your career advisor or your guidance officer. Let them know how you're going. The person that gave you the tick to get involved, they love to hear about this. I constantly get asked from career advisors, oh, how's this person doing? We haven't heard from them. Let them know. They want to know. They're excited that this is their job. So communication across all aspects is key. So look, obviously, as always, you're required to complete every aspect of assessment, including exams too. You will also be organised. You'll need to be organised and communicate with your teachers, as we did mention too. All right, so last one I want to talk about here. Applications are now open and they do close 9th of May 2025. So as I said, plenty of time to get involved, plenty of time for you before this application's close. So no one needs to rush their applications. All those steps we talked through, please go through those steps. Please make sure you're really carefully planning what direction you want to go in because it's only going to benefit you. All right, so this is a really exciting part. This is where we get to have a panel discussion. So I'm going to invite Lizzie and Tristan to turn their cameras on and just come up, introduce themselves while we sort of start with a bit of a Q&A panel. So once we get Tristan, I can't see his video, but that also might just be my screen. There we are. Got you, Tristan. Awesome. All right, so what we're going to do before we start, I'm just going to get each of you both to sort of talk a little bit about what you're currently studying, what your future plans are once you complete your degree. So Lizzie, I'll start with you for that one.
Awesome. Well, hi guys, my name is Lizzie. I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Animal Ecology at the Sippy Downs campus. I'm about halfway through at the moment and I'm really liking the animal ecology, the conservation side of it. So I'm hoping to get into a bit of animal rehab or just general conservation after I finish my degree.
Amazing. Thanks so much. Over to you, Tristan.
Hey everyone, my name's Tristan. I'm a third year Bachelor of Criminology and Justice student. So really enjoyed my time in my study going into my final year now. Got to do some pretty cool assignments and research in some awesome areas, looking at a lot of things in cybercrime at the moment. So potential careers after that would most likely be somewhere in that sort of area. So really looking forward to seeing where that takes me.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Thanks so much. So now we've got those introductions out of the way and we all know a little bit of background about Lizzie and Tristan. Tristan, I'm going to start with you. When did you study Head Start at school?
So for me, when I studied Head Start, I did my first Head Start course in Year 11 Semester 2, and then I did my second Head Start course in Year 12 Semester 1. So that was based off the discussion with my school careers counsellor, and we came to an agreement that that would be a good study sequence for me whilst I was completing high school.
Awesome. Okay. And just on that too, Tristan, just while we're chatting, what Head Start courses did you choose and why did you choose them as well?
Yeah, so my first Head Start course that I did in Year 11 Semester 2, that was an introduction to criminology. So when I was sort of deciding what degree I wanted to do after high school, I hadn't really had an opportunity to see what the space of criminology was actually like. So I saw Head Start as a really good opportunity to actually test what was criminology going to be like before I went through and went and committed to a 3-year degree. Then my second Head Start course in Year 12 Semester 1, I saw that as an opportunity to try out another area of study at university. For me, I had a look into the business space and actually completed an introduction to economics course. That was a really great experience and was really good to see what that area of study was also like too.
Yeah, awesome. All right, thank you. So Lizzie, same question. So when did you start and what courses did you choose and why?
Easy. So I was the same as Tristan. I also did a semester 2 of year 11 and semester 1 of year 12. So I'd been doing a lot of volunteering with animals alongside high school, but I was the same thing. I didn't really know if I wanted to go straight into a degree after school. Did I want to commit to all of the money it would include? So I wanted to do a course in biodiversity and ecology to see if animal ecology was something I liked. And then after that, and I thought, yep, that's great. I love this. I then went on to do discovering science at the start of year 12.
Awesome. All right, cool. So next one we're going to go is, so I just want to ask you both what you most enjoyed about Head Start. So Lizzie, I'll start with you for this one.
Yeah, easy. So I liked the confidence that it gave me just transitioning from, being in high school to going to university full time. And it was nice going, to first day of classes, knowing that this is where I want to be, this is what I want to be doing. But also, I knew my way around campus. I knew the good spots to get a cup of coffee. So yeah, things like that was pretty helpful. And what about
Yeah,
you, Tristan?
Yeah, so for me, I think I really enjoyed being able to see what the area of study I was interested in was going to be like before I actually committed to that degree. So being able to go through and do an introduction to criminology course, being able to be in a university classroom with other university students who are likely on their first day of university was a really cool experience. And I'm really grateful that I went through and actually did that course as it benefited me when I actually got to university, as it meant a little bit less study for me to do in my first semester. So made that transition a little bit more manageable between high school and university as well. So really grateful for that.
awesome. All right. Well, Tristan, I'll throw this next one over to you to start with, but I definitely want to hear both your perspectives on this. So what did Head Start look like for you when you were in school? So, for example, did you attend your class during the day or after school? Were you given time in school to timetable your study? Like, if you could just talk us through what a day in the life of a Head Start student looks like.
Absolutely. So for me, I was lucky enough at my school that I was able to drop a subject and actually pick up my Head Start course. So that essentially meant my school timetable would have a study session where I was supposed to have the sixth subject. I just utilized that to be my Head Start subject. So I was lucky enough to be able to go into the school library and I would go in there and do all my study that I needed to do before I got to class. For me, for my Head Start class, I opted to do it on campus. I thought that would be a really great opportunity to see what it was actually going to be like to be on university at campus. And I really enjoyed having that interaction with peers and also my tutors. I was able to go through and work on those assignments whilst I was still at school in my study breaks. I found that really handy and helped me manage my time a lot and made a really good balance between high school and university. And it really made that sort of study process and managing time a lot easier.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. And Lizzie, how about you?
Yeah, so I went to a school that was pretty close to the Sippy Downs campus. So I was the same. I had 6 subjects on my timetable. I decided to talk to my guidance officer. We thought it'd be best that I dropped one class as well. And I would usually I'd schedule my university class to be in the late afternoon. So I'd sign out of school around 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, depending on what time my class is. I would walk over, drive over, and I would just have that class in the afternoon. So because I dropped another subject as well, those gaps in my timetable, I just sat there and I caught up on all of my studying as well. So it was pretty much like a normal school timetable, but just one of those classes that I was doing was external.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, hopefully that provides everyone with a bit of an insight into what like a day-to-day will look like as a Head Start student too. So, Tristan, I have another one for you. So, when thinking about those Head Start courses back to when you're in high school, in what ways did the program sort of prepare you for that transition from high school to university?
Yeah, so Head Start was a great opportunity for me to actually start getting myself prepared for life after high school. I really saw Head Start as a good career progression tool. So being able to start working towards a qualification that I was going to need for certain types of jobs that I was going to be interested in, I was able to go through and do those 2 courses and actually start to chip away at my degree whilst I was still in high school. So that was a really good bit of career progression for me and also helped to consolidate that the pathway that I was on was actually one that I was going to be motivated to go through and complete and actually knew that I could see an end goal and actually getting a job after university in an area that I was going to be passionate to study in for a long time. So that really helped me to go through that process and actually have a bit of an understanding behind why I was doing that Head Start course and the benefits that were going to really help me once I actually finished high school and got into university as well.
Yeah, awesome. All right, perfect. So, Lizzie, what was the most surprising thing for you about Head Start?
Yes. So the most surprising thing about Head Start, we know that there's lots of benefits when you do decide to go full time after high school. But for me, I actually found that because I was doing similar subjects to school, doing geography and marine, because I liked that area, I actually found that the content I was learning in my Head Start courses, I was able to use some of those notes in my school assignments. So it just meant that when I got into year 12, finishing year 11, and went into those assignments that, would go towards your ATAR, I was able to have a deeper understanding of what I was learning in classes, and my grades actually improved in school as well. So yeah, just using those notes and then going onto campus and doing my class, getting a deeper understanding, and then taking it back to school. I found I wasn't expecting that, but it was definitely a welcome surprise.
Awesome. All right, perfect. Well, look, that's great to hear. So, a question for both of you too, Lizzie. I'll throw this one over to you first. How did you manage your time effectively between your high school subjects and Head Start?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I just took a class out of my normal school timetable, and how it worked for me, I just got put in a random classroom with a smaller class. So instead of, going to, I think I was doing a business class before I decided to do Head Start, I would go to that same business class, I'd just hang in the back, and I'd still have about 3 hours a week overall, and that's the time I would use to manage the Head Start course content. And then, yeah, I wouldn't have to do anything really outside of my school timetable. So I just kind of sat in the back, did all the course content, would sign out of school early, go to my class, and just repeat.
Awesome, perfect. And Tristan, how about yourself?
Yeah, so for me, going through definitely being able to focus on things like time management were a big one for me. So going through and starting to focus on what my high school subjects were and what my university assignments and tasks were going to be were really important for me. So technique and tool that I sort of went through and used similar to Lizzie, where she was going through and managing her classes that way, was even a tool like a timetable or a diary. Utilizing one of those tools I found really useful for myself, being able to go through and have those dates written out that helped me manage that time between university and high school as well.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So, Lizzie, I have I have a question for both of you, but Lizzie, I'll start with you again for this one. So, what was your entry path into your current program?
Okay, so I was on that ATAR pathway at the start of year 11, and I did want to stay on that because of a lot of the subjects I was doing was just that's how it worked. So I actually got in through the ATAR pathway. However, because I'd done 2 Head Start courses, I got to go into year 12 knowing that I'd have that selection rank of 75 up my belt. So when it got to the big external exams and everyone was stressing out about, I needed this ATAR to get into this course, I knew that I'd already had that selection rank no matter what happens with my ATAR exams. And that took a lot of the stress off of me. And obviously I ended up doing a lot better than the rank that I'd been given because I just didn't have that stress on me. So that was how I was able to go into it.
Yeah, awesome. And Tristan, how about yourself?
Yeah, so going through for me, my entry pathway, after completing the 2 Head Start courses, I sort of had to figure out where I was going to go with that university degree. And for me, speak to my school careers counsellor, I went through and actually did an early offer guarantee, which is a really great way for me to sort of take away that stress towards the end of year 12 and really be able to lock in my spot at university and know what I was going to be doing before I actually graduated. So I was really grateful for that opportunity. And that was all thanks to my Head Start time, being able to go through and actually complete those courses really made me motivated to go through and actually know that I was committing to a course that I was going to be really keen to do after high school. And that really helped consolidate my decision as to why I was enrolling into this course and really made me motivated and keen once some school was actually completed to get started with studying the next year and get working towards this degree that I was actually really enjoying based off what I'd seen in Head Start.
Yeah, awesome. All right, perfect. So now, did you experience any unexpected challenges as a Head Start student, Tristan? And if so, how do you sort of overcome them?
So probably the biggest challenge that I was worried about going into Head Start, it seems like something really small, but for me, it was actually being able to go through and actually reference correctly. It was a small thing, but I really hadn't been that great of a referencer in my assignments at school. And I knew that that was going to be maybe a little bit of a step up from high school to university. So for me, going through and feeling maybe a little bit nervous about that referencing aspect of university, I just made sure to reach out to what we have, a learning advisor. This tool was actually really useful for me as I was able to go through and actually book in an online Zoom session to be able to go through for half an hour with a learning advisor and talk over all things about referencing. So I was able to tune in at my school during my study sessions for when I had my Head Start time allocated. We went through for half an hour, had a look over what the type of referencing I was needing to do at university was actually going to involve, how would I go about doing that. And they even gave me a little bit of homework and said, let's go through and do this first reference for your assignment, send it through to me and we'll see how you go. And luckily, based off all that learning that I'd done in that session online, I actually went through, completed, got that reference correct, and I still use that PDF that I had from that first Head Start Zoom session, my 3rd year of criminology today. So it's really worked for me and I'll be able to stick through with that learning throughout my degree, which has been awesome to see.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, look, just on that question specifically, I just want to see if I can get a bit more of an in-depth answer because I know how I would feel about this, but how'd you feel about asking for help? Like, did it make you nervous at all? And then, like, what was the end result? How did you feel after you'd sort of done it?
Yeah, obviously, before going in to ask that question, I did feel a little bit nervous. That's a natural human response. I felt a little bit nervous because maybe I wasn't sure if this was going to be a silly question. Maybe this was a question that wasn't asked before. When I joined that session, I felt a little bit nervous, but as soon as I started talking to that learning advisor, they assured me that this wasn't their first time showing someone how to reference. It was actually a very common question. I wasn't the first person to go to university who wasn't 100% sure how to actually go through and reference. So going through that session made me feel really comfortable. I was not going in stressing about not knowing how to reference and being able to go away and do some practice referencing and send that to them on an email and actually get that feedback straight away was a really good way to actually consolidate that learning and make me feel really comfortable to go into my first Head Start assignment and actually go and actually nail that referencing area. It just made that whole process a lot easier, knowing that I had someone supporting me. I think the big takeaway from that was that all I had to do was reach out. It was something small, just an email to a learning advisor, and I got that help that I needed, and it's been really beneficial for me throughout my degree, not just within Head Start.
Yeah, perfect. All right, awesome. So, Lizzie, what sort of opportunities did you come across during your time as at Head Start?
Yeah, so on that kind of accessing learning advisors, reaching out for help, I found it really helpful using the resource like the resources such as accessing journal articles or research papers. So when I was at school and I was doing my school assignments, I would go on, there'd be a paywall, I couldn't find research paper that I needed, or the school website would block it. So I found the fact that I could just log into my university account at school, have a look at the database, go past all those paywalls, meant that in my school assignments, I had a lot more to say about a topic. I had better referencing, peer-reviewed articles to back up my points. So that was a good opportunity that I definitely took advantage of, was just using all those extra little perks to get ahead of everyone else in my classes as well.
Yeah, awesome. All right. And look, some great information. Thank you so much both for your time tonight. I just want to finish with just a final point from you both. Lizzie, we'll start from you. Have you got any tips for anyone out in the audience tonight?
Yeah, take advantage of all of the services and support that we offer here, because yes, you're still in high school, but at the end of the day, you're still a university student like all of us. And you have access to those wellbeing services, career advisors, counseling, anything like that. And you're completely entitled to it. It's, if you're doing your first Head Start course, it's free. If you're doing your second one, it's only $400 and you get all of that. So just use it. You're paying for it anyway. So
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And Tristan, do you have any final tips that you'd like to throw these students' ways?
Yeah, I guess the biggest tip that I probably would have wanted to be told when I was thinking about going into Head Start was make sure you reach out to your school careers counsellor, have a chat to them, and make sure you get on top of your time management. It's a term that gets chucked around a lot, but it looks very different for lots of different people. For me, I touched on it earlier, but utilizing a diary, it's something small, but being able to go through and manage that time right when you've got your school assignments due, right when you've got your uni assignments due, it'll make that process a whole lot easier so you can see when you've got busy weeks at school, when you might have busy weeks at uni, and just manage that time so you don't have assignments creeping up on you and causing you a bit of panic. So being on top of it and reaching out to your school careers counsellor and your tutors each week, have a chat to them. I know for my first session at university for my Head Start course, I let my tutor know that I was actually a Head Start student. We had a chat about how I was feeling, and they let me know that anytime I need, I can just quickly send them an email and let them know how I was traveling. And my teacher that I had for this first Head Start course now still teaches me in my third year in my cybercrime courses. So it's been pretty cool to go through that process with them as well.
Awesome. Oh, look, Lizzie, Tristan, thank you both so much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you sharing some of these insights. It's great. And hopefully everyone learned some good little tips from them too. So we're getting towards the end of the presentation. There's just a couple more things I do want to mention before everyone goes. First thing I will mention is just sort of jumping on top of those final tips too, from my perspective, and just further cementing some of the points Lizzie and Tristan said, get involved. Like from my personal experience, I did not get involved until about a year and a half or 2 years into my degree. And the opportunities I got once I absolutely just got stuck in, I got a WIL placement with an amazing event management organization. I found a connection and got the confidence to actually run a whole front of house at a festival. And this is just in 12 months, max 18 months of me actually going, no, I'm capitalizing these opportunities. If I had done that for the whole course of my degree, I still do beat myself up about that, which I try not to, but learn from my mistakes and learn from the results that getting stuck in got me. But not just me, every student, and I know Lizzie and Tristan would attest to this too, you only get out what you put in. So please, maximum effort, utilize every opportunity you got. And yes, I am going to mention again, get those PODs, point of differences. It's what's going to set you head and shoulders above everyone else when you get to the point of graduating. So that's enough enthusiasm for me for now on a Wednesday night. But look, any other information just before we wrap up for all the parents out there, we do have our parent guides online. You can jump online, type in UniSC parent guide. It is going to take you to the resources page. You can fully download this PDF. You guys are going to have the opportunity to see what it's like for a student and just get a bit of information on how you as a parent can support your children too. So look, finally, here's our contacts. For any questions, it looks like we've actually smashed through this Q&A tonight, which is amazing. If there are any questions that we haven't gotten to, but it looks like we have, please send them through to the email address on your screens right now. That's just our Student Central email address, or feel free to give them a call. They're super friendly. They're there from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. every Monday to Friday. They want to help you. Any information that you need, they will get it for you too. So look, We're going to hang online. I'm just going to hold on for another, let's say, 5 minutes to answer any other questions. I'm going to turn my camera off so you don't need to awkwardly stare at my face too. But look, thank you so much for joining this evening. We really hope this session was informative. We hope it gave you all the information you need, and hopefully it got you as keen as I am about how good this Head Start program is. Look, once again, thank you so much. We are going to hang back for a couple questions, so a couple more minutes. So any questions, just chuck them in that Q&A function. If not, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on campus shortly. Awesome. Thanks so much. See you later, everyone.